I'm one of those gamers that actually enjoys horse racing games, and we don't get to see a whole lot of them here in North America, so when I saw Horse Racing 2016 was coming to PS4, I was pretty interested. But is the game like winning the Triple Crown, or is it more like finishing in dead last? Horse Racing 2016 does its best to try to emulate horse racing with different styles of races, tracks, horses, and even free riding events. The issue is, it doesn't necessarily do any of them particularly well. The game has two modes of play, a single-player championship mode, as well as a multiplayer mode that can be played up to 4 players split screen. Your bulk of your time will probably be spent though in the single player mode. Here you get to name your horse and your jockey, select a horse, and then go through 10 seasons of 5 events each, followed up by one last championship round also made up of 5 different events. When you're going through the season modes, you're going to unlock better horses, and all the horses, while they have different color schemes and all, don't really change up that much as far as stats are concerned. You basically have a group of horses with all the different colors at one stat level. Once you do a couple of seasons, you'll unlock the level 2 horses that have slightly increased stats, but they all have identical, whether it be identical speed, stamina, and the like. Just you can select which of the colors you end up liking the best, and you keep doing this till eventually you get horses of all the colors with maxed out stats by the time you make it to Championship Season 8. Each season mode has 5 events made up of 4 different styles of events. You always start off with a time trial, you'll have straight track racing, you'll have normal races, and then hurdle races. Each of these will appear at least once amongst the 5 events, so sometimes you may get 2 straight races or 2 normal races within that particular season. The races, like normal horse racing, goes by very quickly. In fact, going through each season will only take you a matter of minutes. To complete all 10 seasons, including the championship round, winning it, and pretty much winning almost every event along the way, only took me about an hour and 20 minutes. The presentation for the horse racing itself is really kind of ugly. There's some pretty plain flat textures for both the ground, the sky, and even the stadiums itself don't really vary all that much. There's only a couple of different ones you're going to end up seeing. Though, it does have a couple of seasonal effects like rain or snow, but this doesn't seem to change up the racing whatsoever. The horse racing itself is okay. You mash the X button in order to get the horse to go faster. You have a stamina gauge and the horse ends up getting tired. They will start to slow up. And then you have another gauge which represents how angry or how beat the horse is, as you can of course whip it for a little bit of added speed. Though if you whip it too much, your horse will end up collapsing. Well, it took a couple of races to get the hang of everything as far as movement and how much I have to mash the X button or not. But once I figured that out, I was blown by the competition. In fact, it was pretty much an absolute bore by the time I made it into the 4th or 5th season, as just mashing the X button and whipping every so often had me winning every race. Unlike a lot of other horse racing games out there, there's no like breeding or no stable management or anything like that to deal with. It's just the simple events that you're going to be completing one after another. When you complete an event, you do get a point score, and your goal, of course, is to have the most amount of points at the end of each of the seasons, and then at the end of everything, have the most total amount of points. Though, if you play like I do, you'll probably be way ahead of the opponents by the time you make it to that final championship round. The championship round itself is a bit different, as it adds free riding events. Here, you actually have to run around a stadium-like setting and jump over different hurdles. The more jumps you make, the higher ranking you end up getting. Each of the opponents end up getting a certain amount, and you know ahead of time what their numbers are, so it's very easy to get that amount of jumps, as it's absolutely a joke with the amount of time you're given to make this amount of jumps. In fact, on the second time doing the free riding event, as you have to do 2 of them, I just put the controller down with about 2 minutes left to go and just had to wait for it to run out. After a couple more normal races, you then just go into one final long race where there's no stamina bar, there's no whipping of the horses, no hurdles or anything. You just gotta go through like a mountain track to finish things up. It was very easy. I ended up being so far ahead, I actually had to wait for the opponents to finish for at least like 30 seconds or so after I had already crossed the finish line, and the game was over. I was crowned the champion, and then the short credits rolled, and that was it. From the technical side of things, there were graphical glitches here and there with things flickering in the background like signs, as well as just weird graphics when the guy would throw the riding crop in the air after winning a race. It kind of would glitch a little bit in the air, as well as even the ground on a few courses ended up glitching a bit. The game didn't crash on me or slow down though, at least. Horse Racing 2016 is available now on the PlayStation 4. It does not feature a full trophy list or platinum, though if you are looking for an easy 100%, just pretty much have to play the game. You have to win or finish in the top 3 in 50 races, which you will do a minimum of if you play through all the seasons, including the championship. In total, it took me an hour and 20 minutes, and I had the 100%. Overall, there's nothing egregiously wrong with the game, it's just a very bland and poor horse racing experience. It's not pretty to look at, and the races themselves just really aren't that fun. I guess with the multiplayer included, there could be a little fun with friends, but you'll probably end up still getting bored with that rather quickly as well. With everything said, I'm going to be giving Horse Racing 2016 a 3 out of 10. But anyway guys, it's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course I hope you enjoyed.